Thanks for coming to visit me at my little house in the bush. Now, today I want to talk about the price of groceries, and if you're in Australia, you know that they have just been increasing so much over the last few months, even years. Just the prices just keep going up. And I am a full-time homeschooling mother, which means that we are living on one income. I have 4 children, which some people tell me is a large family. I don't know if I consider it a large family. I'm the eldest of 7, so maybe my idea of a large family is a bit bigger than the average. I don't know. Comment below. What size is a large family? Is it 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids? I think 5 kids is definitely a large family. But yeah. Okay, so as the queen of my household, it's often my responsibility to make the meal plans and do the shopping and prepare the food. So I'm going to take you through what that looks like this week and show you some of the meals that I've been making to try to slash our budget or save some money in our budget, slash the price that we're spending on food and household things. So if that sounds like something good for you to watch, come along, join me, and I hope that you find it to be a blessing. Let's go. Fresh produce, we've got zucchini, strawberries, a cauliflower, bananas, apples. Pink ladies were the cheapest this week, which is good because we like the pink ladies the best. Also got some frozen broccoli for the freezer. Snacky things, my boys asked for some seaweed crackers and some of these. So they got those, toilet paper and paper towel, some rice bubbles, our milk, which so looking forward to having my milking cow back in the milk and not having to buy milk every week. Got some cream, some sultanas for easy to grab and go things. Some batteries which were on my list for last week but I forgot them. So batteries, cat food, garbage bags, some baby carrots, some chocolate chips. The Aldi chocolate chips, the baking ones, are actually quite nice. Even like just as chocolate. These are for a baking project later on with one of my boys. Got some dates which are my treats. We've got some baby wipes, some butter, some drinking chocolate. The Aldi brand one is really good and it's so much cheaper than the Cadbury one. It tastes the same. Some flour again for a baking project. I've got my 2 chooks like I always get. I got almost 2 kilos of beef mince in there. Got some cooking bacon. We won't go through all of this week. I'm going to use some of it to make zucchini slice, the rest will get frozen. I got 3 loaves of bread because we were running low on bread, some garlic bread, and our pizzas for pizza night. So that is what I got from Aldi. Let's have a look at what's in this week's veggie box. So this is a seasonal box. It's fruit and veggies. Ooh. So we've got some purple broccolini and some lettuce, nice. Ooh, some bok choy, so nice and fresh. Got some bananas, some more apples, some oranges, a couple of zucchinis, sweet potato, carrots, nice big cauliflower. Get you out of the way. And we've got a huge red onion. Oh, and some, this will be potatoes. Potatoes. So I'll put away all of these veggies too with this week's groceries. Right, how much do you think that cost me at Aldi? Alright, this week's groceries were a total of $245.23. So I'm really happy with that. That's within my budget that I'm aiming for to try to bring down our household spending for the rest of this year. So I also got a couple of things from Big W, not groceries but household things today. So I got a brush for cleaning the toilet and some child safety locks to close some cupboard doors, since my 1.5-year-old has decided he wants to get into everything at the moment. I didn't have to go to Coles or Woolies for anything, so I think I saved a fair bit of money there, avoiding popping into those other shops. Today I also got my veggie pickup. I get an organic seasonal box from a group of farmers, so I've also got a big box of veggies and some fruit that are organic and locally grown. So I'll add those in to our groceries this week. doesn't get really brown like when you roast a chicken, but you can tell it's cooked because see here the skin's like pulling away from the bones, and if you pull the meat, it just comes right apart and just falls apart, and it's so tender and juicy. It's going to be great. It will not get brown, it will not get crispy skin, so don't expect that, but it will be amazing and very versatile. So I'm going to turn this off now, and I'm going to get these chickens out and into another tray to start cooling down. Right, we're going to make something super easy, super delicious, super great to have on a cold winter's day using my vintage casserole dish from my gran. This is a one pot wonder. Right, we've got rice. We like basmati. It works really well. I'm going to put 2 cups straight in the pot. Frozen veggies that are already open. About probably 3 or 4 cups. Next I've got some frozen chicken. This is from a poached chicken I did last week. Now I've got some warm stock going in the stock pot, so I'm just going to put that straight in, shut the lid, stick it in the oven, and we're laughing. Three cups of stock, 2 cups of rice. Into the oven. Okay, can you go put it back in your bedroom? Right, she's been in the oven about 40 minutes now. This is what it looks like. Just going to give it a stir. Rice is nice and fluffy. Right, I'm going to season it and then stick it in the oven for about another 15 minutes. Alright, today I'm going to make some cereal. My kids love having cereal for breakfast, and cereal is, I know from the supermarket, a lot of them aren't very nutritious and they don't fill kids up very long. So sometimes when my kids have cereal for breakfast from the supermarket, then they're just hungry all morning and they want a snack and eat other things. So I make this homemade cereal or granola, and then it's easy, it's on hand, and when my lovely husband oversees the breakfast time, everyone's happy because he doesn't have to cook anything or do anything elaborate, and the kids all get well fed. So I make this regularly. I try to always have some in the cupboard ready to go. And I've started by soaking overnight some rolled oats. These are just plain rolled oats you can get from the supermarket. These ones I bought in bulk from Honest to Goodness. That's where I like to buy my bulk organic ingredients. And there's 2 cups in here and they've been soaked. I filled it up till there was 4 cups. So well and truly covering the oats. They have swelled up a bit overnight, and I've also soaked them not just in water, but I've also put in a bit of whey, which I got when I strained some yogurt. So the whey, it helps to break down some of the things that stop our bodies from absorbing the nutrition in the oats. And if you want to find out more information about that, then there's a very good cookbook that has all sorts of information in it. Nourishing Traditions. So this is where I've learned a lot of information about soaking, fermenting, souring, things that we eat, especially grains, so that they are more nutritious and so that our bodies can actually break them down and use them. So that is why I have pre-soaked these oats. So we've got our drained oats. I'm going to add in some pepitas. Sunflower seeds are also very nice. You can add sesame seeds, poppy seeds, any sort of seeds that you like the flavour of. And I'm going to add desiccated coconut. Again, this is a source of good fats and fibre. I don't really measure, so that was probably 1.5 cups. I'm going to flavour this one with carob. It gives it a nice sort of nutty malt flavour, not so much chocolatey, which my children don't really like, a chocolatey taste. So I'm going to use carob. The possibilities with this are really endless. You can use whatever flavours you want, whatever dried fruit or nuts or seeds you have on hand. You can change it up to match the seasons. I'm not going to put fruit in this one because my kids don't really like having fruit in their cereal. And I've got some vanilla that I'm going to add to our now melted coconut oil and honey. I'm also going to add a big pinch of salt. Now very gently mix these dry ingredients with the oats. You don't want to mash the oats too much or it will start releasing like oat milk. You still want to have some texture there. Okay, and then I'm just going to add in our melted butter, not butter, coconut oil and honey. And vanilla. And again, just gently Stir that so it's all incorporated. There you go, now we have a sticky, goopy mess. But we're going to spread it out on some oven trays and then we're going to bake it low and slow in the oven until it crisps up. So, and here's what it looks like out of the oven. So I cooked it for about 2 hours at 120 degrees while it was still quite wet. Then I stirred it and cooked it for the final hour at 90 degrees just to really dry it out and crisp it up. And it's just in these little chunks. You can't actually see, it doesn't look like individual oats anymore. It's just these really delicious crispy chunks of cereal, and these are just going to go in my pantry and they're going to be used for our breakfast cereal, and they are delicious. Comment below and let me know if you thought this was going to be more or less than it was, and tell me also, how much do you spend to feed your family every week? I'd love to find out. I guess I'm just nosy that way. So yeah, just praise God for His abundance. He's so good and He looks after us, gives us everything that we need. So I pray that you'll be blessed too. So have a great rest of your week, and thanks for visiting me at my little house in the bush. Hooroo.